by region, or by tribe, or by ethnic tendencies. So today, coming into the stadium, this is a 10,000 seater capacity stadium, and seeing every seat occupied just because Team Ogun and Team Kwara are playing, there was no better sense of fulfillment in my heart that we have managed to achieve our objective, which is reigniting the original spirit of the National Sports Festival. You know, I was in Abuja sometime last week, and someone said to me, you know, I can't remember the last time I watched the National Sports Festival. I didn't even know it existed anymore until you hosted it. And that was exactly what we set out to achieve. We want to ensure that this sports festival occupies its pride of place. It is our own local Olympics. And what you've seen do is the collective teamwork of a government and its people. We set out a vision. That vision was not just defined as industrial capital of Nigeria alone. Not just excelled in providing multimodal transportation system and made us accessible to everyone. Not just to be defined as the breadbasket of the nation, being the number one producer of cassava in Nigeria, the number one producer of eggs and poultry in Nigeria. Not just to be defined once again as the education capital of Nigeria, but to be defined as the tourism capital of Nigeria, the sports capital of Nigeria, and more importantly, the gateway to excellence. We've done that using the platform of the National Sports Festival. What you've seen is us being very deliberate and intentional. We've painstakingly gone through every step that it would take and what we needed to do to ensure that indeed we host the best National Sports Festival in the history of the sports festival. And the jury is out. I'm not going to say that this is a lesson for us. What's happened since Sunday? Everybody saw us coming. We didn't give up the time. Am I right? But we knew exactly what we're doing and where we're going. Today we are number 3 on the medals charts. Watch out for Ogun State. The best is yet to come.
All right, grand opening. We had Asha, we had Davido. What's our appetite? What should we expect to the closing ceremony?
Should I give you a sneak preview? Let me just say that the closing ceremony will be the first of its kind in this country. So just wait and be patient. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy birthday in advance, sir. Happy birthday in advance, sir. Honestly.
When passion meets vision, sucks. I was thrilled yesterday. It was electrifying. Honestly, I watched the game. Looking at the stadium, he said that they had 10,000 capacity stadium, but it was filled to the brim. At some point, people didn't even have. There was an overflow yesterday. People didn't even have places to sit down. It was all seats, every seat in that stadium yesterday was filled to the brim. And in the end, first 15 minutes 2-1. Before the first, only one in the studio. My name remains Ebere Oji. I'm not the only one in the studio. I've got my colleague here, Olumide. Olumide, how are you doing?
Yeah, a very good morning. And good morning to our listeners. It's good to be here again on Operaatune 106.3 FM Abeokuta in the city. In Ogun State. I mean, I don't know what to say, but listening to the governor, memories coming back from last night, event, talking about the men's football final between Team Ogun and of course Team Kwara. It was an electrifying atmosphere. We saw a lot of emotions, we saw the passion from the supporters, from the fans, dignitaries in the stadium.
Igniting the original spirit that comes with first sport of the National Sports Secretary. And since then, we've had over 21 editions. This is the 22nd edition of the Sports Festival. And so far, it's been one of the best. He said we wanted to ensure that this sports festival occupies its place. Sports Festival. Olumide, you watched the games yesterday. You were at in fact, you were at the pitch side. You experienced what it entails to see fans close to the pitch. How electrifying was it for you yesterday?
Well, like I said, very, very electrifying. I love the feeling. It feels good to know that you can see the fans go to the stadium, and we're not talking about national team football, not the Super Eagles, not the Super Falcons, not any of the national underage team, talking about under 20, under 23 or under 17. These are footballers from different states, coming together to showcase their talents, and that's what the National Sport Festival is all about. It's about your state showcasing their talents, a platform where all that you have discovered can now nationally just showcase to the nation. And like we said, we are streaming live, and there are a lot of these games are also streamed live, global. I'm talking about global presence and effect right now. It's a good last night was a good advertisement for talent in Nigeria. Talk about what football is also all about. I saw a football game that was highly technical. It wasn't a kick and follow kind of football. You think that like Prince Dakwa Abiodun, His Excellency Governor of Lagos, Governor of Ogun State mentioned. He talked about how this is a youth event, and that's what we saw at the youth level, to see players interpret shape, game plan, technical ingenuity. They gave us a resemblance of what you will also get from the Victor Osimhen, from the Ademola Lookman, from the Wilfred Ndidis. Gave us things from also Hero Spas, talking about the JJ Okochas. I saw the Kanu Wankos, saw a lot of dribbling, a lot of passes, accurate passes, a lot of run, a lot of timely intervention in terms of interceptions, blocks. It was just exciting because you could see that from the from the shout, from the cheers of the people in this. That's how know. Sometimes when you are part of an event, how to measure the performance is just look at the fans, and then you will know if you're doing something right or wrong. So a big massive shout out to Ogun State for hosting this and then putting in place. I saw the facility and I was also excited. Facilities top notch. You look at the pitch, you look at everywhere officiating. Everything was just
the security. Everything
was.
There was no, there was no disrupt whatsoever. Everybody understood the assignment yesterday. Everybody as in they maintained. There was this sense of tranquility there at the stadium. There was no cause of these people are doing this. Everything. In fact, it was the business on the pitch that everybody came to watch. Nobody had that time to come and start,
no
trying to disrupting the peace.
Violence,
exactly.
Nothing.
So it was an amazing. In fact, it was an amazing game. He said His Excellency, Prince Dakwa said nobody saw Ogun coming. We knew exactly what we were doing. He said this is a testament of tenacity. They were very, very intentional all through. They are put on the medals chart. Like for every game they have participated. I was telling someone yesterday, there are certain maybe countries or states that host events, and at the end of the day, you don't even see them in the top 5 or top 10. Do you understand? But this is a state that even from the basketball games they played, they got to the team, or got to the finals for the men. Like for the basketball game.
afraid. Ask for more.
Have the strong cable. Yes, we have Opera. It's just tuned to Operaatune. It is Opera TV. Now you could also join us on our social media platforms. We are streaming live Operaatune TV or Opera TV on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. For those that have their radios or their frequency modulation, their FMs close to them, you could tune into Operaatune FM 106.3 Abeokuta. Yes, so we've been talking a whole lot regarding the games that was played yesterday. It was not just the finals for the men, we also had that of the women. Olumide, it was an exciting game yesterday. It ended 1-1 for the Flamingos. Flamingos are also known as the invited junior athletes, or the IJA. Yes. So the Flamingos played against Team Delta. Remember, Team Delta they've been every competition topping that medals table. Yesterday's game, what do you think? What are your opinions about yesterday's game? I know at some point there was 1-1, then they went into the penalties. I know penalties, we all know it's a game of luck, and it's a game of the goalkeepers.
Yeah, so talking about Team Delta, first off, I must say that they topped the medals table.
Yeah.
They have a total of 190 medals.
Wow.
80 gold medals,
wow.
46 silver, and of course 64 bronze. Altogether make up 100, and you will know why. The Niger Delta that was just concluded,
yes.
I think that they are still high competition,
exactly.
And they are bright and fit to go against people who are prepared also, but are not actively. That was very, very intense. So they carried that intensity into the National Sports Festival, and that's the result that we are seeing right now from Delta. For the games yesterday, I mean, again, like I said about Team Ogun and Team Kwara for the men. For the women, I must applaud the invited junior athletes. Yes. They expect in the future. That's the future of female football
exactly.
in Nigeria. I think I said that a few hours ago, how gone are the days where when you see female football, you don't see a lot of people go to watch because they feel it's not going to be interesting, it's not going to be exciting. But the stadium was packed full yesterday, even when the female teams were in action, and it's because of the good football that we saw. They also rallied the fans, and there were a lot of moments where you saw the fans, go gaga. I mean, go agog. I mean, it's exciting to see the 90 minutes, regulation time of football, but they couldn't be separated, and that's how good both sides were technically. Application of talent, interpretation of the game in terms of shape, where to run to, how to pick a pass, when to defend deep, and then when to break in transition. We saw all of that, and these were young ladies, women, in action. I was excited about that game. But for Team Delta, I mean, the coach very soon. And maybe we should go to that even now, so I can, because I was going to say something, but I don't want to call it the thoughts of the listener. So, all right. Maybe you get to hear from the coach, in a bit.
Well, the state government have been encouraging, they've been supportive, and I and my girls decided to make them proud, which we did in the NDBC, and we also came to the festival to prove to them that we can do it on and on and on again. We can't be under pressure. We played our fellow girls, we played them before, we know them, and we come back to prove to them the youth state.
The voice you heard now is the voice you heard now was that of Delta Team Delta's head coach, yes, she said we should wait for them in the youth games. Like the girls applied, because so far they've been one of the best, if not the best, in this competition. For the games yesterday, I want to say kudos to their goalkeeper. Her name is Opera Francis Favor. In fact, after the game, she was in tears because it was like I said earlier, it ended 1-1 and then went into penalty shootout. There's nothing like playing extra 30 because of time. They don't play extra 30 minutes and all that. Of course, it's gonna make penalty shootout. Now you know it's a game of luck. Penalty shootout, it could go either way. Yeah, it's a lottery game. Now, invited junior athletes or the Flamingos. They did well yesterday, but then at the end of the day, it was Delta that had it all. They had it all, and I want to say we've been so hospitable. So you could think, because I believe the whole Ogun was at that stadium. It was fully packed. It was fully, as in, to the brim. Even they had an overflow yesterday.
Yeah, again, like I said, sometimes
had an overflow yesterday.
Yeah, again, like I said, sometimes how to measure what you do is the presence that you get in terms of attention, attendance, participation, and how actively involved these people are. When you see when there's an event ongoing and then you see people trying to break in and just want to be part of what is going on, it's want to be part of what is going on is place. So I mean, a very, 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 very finals that we saw yesterday at the MKO Abiola Stadium, right here in Abeokuta in Ogun State. Ogun State is where everything is happening. I keep saying that from I also think that with Team Ogun yesterday, it's a true testament to the fact that the highest level of football, talking about men football in Nigeria, talking about homegrown talent, Nigeria Premier Football League. We know the current champions now.
Exactly.
That is Remo Stars. And who won the National Sports Festival Football Men single event? Ogun State won it. So
and Remo is situated in this
same city. So a lot of massive talents they've got right here, and then they have the right platform, and they are already showing us that they're the next best thing to the country, Nigeria.
Yes. So you could join us. You could join this conversation. You call us and give us your 2 cents about the games yesterday. Call us on 070-1125-3825. I'll take it again. 070-1125-3825. Yes. And you could join. We are streaming live on Opera TV. It's on Strong, on cable network Strong. You could join us there, or you could join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. Yes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Opera TV, and also on YouTube. Join us if you are using radio or the frequency modulation. That is Operaatune FM 106.3 Abeokuta. You could call us because we're waiting for your calls. 070-1125-3825. Yeah. Now we've got a voice note from the Ogun from the coach of the Ogun team Ogun yesterday. He was excited. A lot of questions. He was asked a lot of questions, and he took time to answer those because he was. If there was something like maybe Cloud9, I would we'll talk about that game because first 20 minutes, first 10 minutes, maybe the game started. And there's something about having not just having your stadium filled up, but home ground. When you watch things like the EPL, as in big games, you say, okay, fine, that the home advantage. Yesterday, I felt what it entails to have home advantage. Home advantage in the sense of having your fans closer to the stadium, because when they cheer you, you are pumped up to deliver. Yesterday, it was as if there was this spirit. It was as though the players played with the fans behind them. It was electrifying yesterday, Lumide.
Yeah,
I could feel. At some point, I had goose people like, wow. For every kick from the first kick of that game, for every kick for all the players, you could hear the sound, the cheers, the claps, the noise. It was something else.
Yeah, and I agree with you. When you're on the pitch and then you hear the fans cheering your name, your name is from left, right, center. You make a dribble goal and they go, I mean, there is a way that can inspire you and motivate you to want to do more. Home advantage in sports is very key. It's very important. It's very important that even when you're not doing well, because when Tim Kwara got that one goal back, we saw how the energy went down a bit, but they picked it back again, and from there on, it was just
telling you, like
exciting football. And I agree with you about the home fan thing. If probably the stadium wasn't that packed full, or even it was packed full, but the fans were not there right behind Team Ogun, it probably would affect the complexion of how they played. But beyond that, I think they played really, really well. Yeah, they did very good football. Very good. I love the transition I saw from them, from defense to midfield to attack. And then we saw how they dominated the midfield, because for Team Kwara, the only time they were allowed control was when they got that goal back. So what Team Ogu did was to ensure that they denied Team Kwara of the ball. You know, knock it around, diagonal, make runs into the box and shoot directly at goal. Like His Excellency President Abiodun said about being intentional. It was clear what they wanted to do. Every time they were with the ball, it's, you know, building out from the back,
there was this purpose. They were very direct,
getting at goal to shoot at goal. I mean, it's really, really, and you know, they repaid back the support from the home front. And I mean, that's why they won the game 4 goals. It finished 4-1.
4-1. First half ended 3-1. Second half, it was here and there. It was quite interesting. In fact, let us add the icing on the cake. The next voice you would hear now is the head coach of Ogun, Team Ogun. Don't touch that dial. Thank you.
Done their best. They represented us well. Talking about the goalkeeper, this is developmental. They have to be versatile. We don't know where the future holds for them. So being a goalkeeper is a plus to the girl. So I just look at it that the number one choice is keeping. She might not have any opportunity to take part in the game. So the best option for her, because we have a lot of injury in the team. And we have been doing that in training, we combine playing and then go to team together. So that's why it is not the first game. All throughout the tournament she has been playing. She has been coming as a sub, and she has really done well. You can see on the penalty, she scored a penalty as well. So they have done their best. They've represented us well. Talking about the goalkeeper, this is developmental. They have to be versatile. We don't know where the future holds for them. So playing being a goalkeeper is a plus to the girl. So I just look at it that the number one choice is keeping. She might not have any opportunity to take part in the game. So the best options for her, because we have a lot of injury in the team. And we have been doing that in training. We combine playing and goalkeeping together. So that's why this is not the first game. All throughout the tournament she has been playing. She has been coming as a sub. And she has really done well. You can see on the penalty, she scored a penalty as well. So
Workout Music Source.
All right, the voice you heard was that of Team. It was Team Ogun, Ogun, it was Team Ogun for the female. So he said it's a developmental stage. Do you get? So no one is saying they did well. That is Ija. They did well yesterday, but then again, in the end, it was Delta that got gold. They got silver, and it was Team Kwara. That Team Kwara, I don't know the last person. Okay, it was Team Ogun. That's for the females that got bronze. For the females that got, we're going to list out the 3 top medals given yesterday: first, second, and third. For bronze, it was Team Ogun. For the women, Team Ogun got bronze. Then Ija, that is the invited junior athletes for the ladies, got silver, and Team Delta got gold. Yes, yesterday. So gold for Team Delta, silver for Team Flamingos or Ija, then bronze for Team Ogun. That you can see even Ogun, despite finishing third, they are still competing actively. Do you understand? They are still so for the men, we had Ija. That is the invited junior athletes for the men. They got third position yesterday. Went home with the bronze medal. Now for the silver medal, it was Team Kwara. Team Kwara, before this game, they were the defending champions of this competition. They were defending champions, and well, they finished second place with silver medal. And finally, Team Ogun, that is for the male, they got the gold medal. 4-1 is no. The goals were beautiful. This is not like probably they scored from the spot kick. Those goals were like well worked goals. Like from their
training pitch.
I'm telling you,
execution.
It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful. So kudos, and hopefully purposeful. Like it's a step in the right direction. It's a developmental step in the right direction. So kudos to all of them. Now we had other games. Now, so we had other games played yesterday. The basketball finals, the basketball finals was played yesterday. For the women, we had Team Bayelsa versus Team Ogun, and in the end, it was Team Bayelsa that won that game yesterday. The Team Bayelsa for women won the game by 59-37 against Team Ogun. So Bayelsa won gold yesterday. Yeah, so Team Bayelsa 59 and Team Ogun 37 for the female basketball finals played yesterday at the Alake. Hope I got that correct.
Alake,
yes, Sports Center. Yeah. Now for the basketball men's final, it was Team Lagos versus Team Ogun, and that game ended 48-34. 48 for Team Lagos, and 34 for Team Ogun. So, Lagos won, Bayelsa won. Better luck next time. But getting silver is not too a bad thing for Ogun. Like they got silver. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. What are your opinions?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. We know that. At all front, they've been getting medals.
Yeah.
That's why they are taught. And maybe we should also let you know that. So they have 44 gold medals. For Ogun. 29 silver, and of course 41 bronze. A total of 114 medals for Team Ogun, and it's good for them. Basketball, I saw on Tuesday, on Monday. I saw Team Ogun play on Monday. Talking about basketball men, I saw the women also play. Team Ogun also played on Monday. Exciting team, a lot of talent in there, and again, I keep saying it. The pool for talent. If you have seen most of the sports are actively engaged in this national sports festival, you see that the pool of talent for the next generation is really massive. There's going to be a lot of competition getting into any of our national teams, right from grassroots all the way to the top. And so you have to really be at your best. That's some of the things we have seen in this place, and some of these states are showing that already. Iberi just gave you for the men, Lagos won, Ogun came second, and then for the female, Ogun, where they came second, and of course Bayelsa won the gold medal. So for them in basketball, men silver, female silver. It's a testament to the fact that they've been preparing ahead of. I don't think you would begrudge them. For Bayelsa, they were also at the national Niger Delta.
Yes,
so you see that for them to be able to push them that far, it's good. But again, sometimes when someone is ahead of you in terms of maybe actively being engaged, that's what you get. That little edge is what I think that Bayelsa got over them. I don't think that Bayelsa talent is better than Ogun State.
They did not whitewash them.
It's just a little here and there in terms of the like I was talking about game fitness for Bayelsa. I think that was what edged it for them. For Lagos, we know that for Lagos, they've been playing a lot of tournaments, so you will understand why also maybe there was a slight edge right there. But hey, silver it's not back.
Yeah. Now we've been talking about there's this we've got other games for the track events. We have the deaf women's track events, because it's not just it's one thing I love about
32 sporting
events cut across. So it's not just for those, for everyone. There's this active participation for everybody.
Yes.
So for the deaf women's track events, we had Victoria Odokara from Team Edo winning gold. She won gold in the 400 meters. She finished her track event with 58.50 seconds yesterday. So she won gold, and it's a good one for her. It's a good one. Despite whatever she said, this is what I want, and she went for it. And at the end of the day, finished with gold. Now we've got our medals table. It's been updated because we keep getting a lot of updates.
Yes.
And also, so far, Delta is still on top one, like they are top position, number one position. And the good thing about all this is that for these teams, for the states as at yesterday, we had over 30. We had over 8 more states that we are yet to win any medal. The good thing that Ebonyi and Kebbi now finally have medals. So we have over 32 states with medals. Ebonyi won a medal yesterday, it's a bronze, and Kebbi also won a medal yesterday, bronze as well. So it's a good one. Hopefully, before the competition finishes, with the remaining 6 teams that are yet to win something, would at least win one medal, instead of going home empty-handed. So I will just list the first 10 here for you. The top one, number one there is Delta. Delta has this is more like an updated medals table. For Delta, they have 86 gold, 52 silver, 68 bronze, and a total of 206. Yes, a total of 206 medals won so far. Then number 2, we have Bayelsa. Bayelsa, they have 50 gold, 38 silver, 44 bronze, and a total of 138 medals won. For Team Ogun, yes, Team Ogun, they've upped their gold medals. Yesterday it was around 30 something, now it's 40 something. Now for Team Ogun, they're on third place with 48 gold, 38 silver, and 47 bronze. That's a total of 133 medals won. 133 medals won. That's massive. For Team Edo, they have 46 gold. They are on fourth place. They have 46 gold, 76 silver, and 69 bronze. That's a total of 191 medals. Well, remember yesterday we said it is not the total that matters, it's the number of gold. Gold will determine where you are on the table. So yes, Edo, they are on fourth place with 46 gold. Rivers are on 5th place with 45 gold. Oyo are on 6th place with 29 gold. Lagos are on 7th place with 21 gold. Osun, they are on 8th place with 13 gold. Abia are on 9th place with 10 gold. And finally on the 10th place we have FCT Abuja with 9 gold. So you can see a lot has been happening. Plateau, they are on 11th. Akwa Ibom 12th. Kwara 13th. Cross River 14th, and the likes. And yesterday something awesome happened. The flag football happened yesterday. It was more like a showcase, Showtime Flag Football League. They had their first inaugural edition at a games as in the NSF. Yes, it was the first time they participated, and it was a good one. It was colorful. It was electrifying. 8 teams participated in that competition. We had Team Ondo, Team Ogun, Team Kano, Team Kaduna, Team Abuja, Team Lagos, Team Cross River, and finally Team Enugu. Like 8 teams participated yesterday, and it was a colorful event. It's a color. For those that don't know what flag football is all about, I don't know. Can you just maybe like few minutes before we take a break and head into, because we have a lot happening. There's a big final happening in a country called Poland, in Warsaw. Like a lot is happening, but we just want to talk just 2 minutes flag football, then would head into other things.
Yeah, so for flag football, if you know American football, that's exactly what flag football is all about. The difference in this is just that for flag football, it's about pulling of flags and having a touchdown. Having a touchdown is like when you score a point in basketball or in football. When you score a goal, that's what touchdown, scoring a touchdown means. How do you score a touchdown in flag football? So you have different positions in flag football. There is 5-on-5, and then there is 7-on-7. So that means you have 5 players or 7 players. So let me go with the 5 players, which is the official recognized number. You have a quarterback, you have a center, and you have receivers, wide receivers. So what you do is the quarterback starts the game. So in flag football, they have an oval round ball that they throw.
Yeah.
So you, as a quarterback, you are like the leader of the team. So what you do is you determine who gets the ball in terms of throwing the ball. So you have to really, really be accurate. Now, the way flag football is, on 2 divide. When you have the ball, you are the offensive side. So the other team is the defense side. They try to stop you from getting the ball to your teammates. How do they stop that? When you throw the ball to any of your receivers or the center, they try to intercept the throw, and once they are able to get the ball when you throw it, they automatically become the attacking side while you become the defensive side.
Yeah.
So that's how the game is being played. So there's a lot of athleticism in flag football. You have to be fit because there is a lot of running and calculations that you get to do on the pitch.
And it's a co-ed sport.
You have co-ed and you have the single one. I also like to also say that for flag football, so there is this flag tied around their waist that if they pull it, you score a point also, and then
if your opponent pulls it, right?
If your opponent pulls the flag. So there are 2 things you can do. You can try to intercept the throw, or if you cannot intercept that, once the receiver gets the ball and try to run into your half for a touchdown, you can pull their flag, and once you pull their flag, you start play from there. So it's a growing sport in Nigeria.
Because,
the next Olympics, flag football has been added to it, and Nigeria is hoping to have a representation at the next Olympics. Also maybe we'll bring that to you in our subsequent edition of the show. There's a mini tournament that is going to be happening in one of the North African countries in Africa, and Nigeria is going to be part of that. But like I said, we'll extensively talk about that. That is happening next month. But again, it's been added. It's a sport that has been added to Nigeria's National Sports Festival, and at the 22nd edition of our National Sports Festival, it's been launched. This is more like what flag football is about and how it's being played. And I'm excited that already we're beginning to see states adopt it.
8 states now.
Adopt it. And one of the goals is to have a national league, because that sport, I must tell you, it's a very, very exciting sport that you should look out for. And good that Ogun State already also have a team.
That's a good one. So like I said, we had 8 teams participate in this showcase. Like the 8 teams participate in this River and Team Enugu. They all played yesterday. You could reach us on 07011253825. We are live on Opera TV. You could follow us on Opera TV on Strong Cable Network, Opera TV on Strong Cable Network, and also on our social media platforms. We are Opera TV on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. Tune into Operaatune FM 106.3. We're also live streaming as well. Call us on 07011253825. All right. So in the world of NBA, we know that there are finals both in the West and also in the East. It's been played. Yesterday we talked about OKC Thunders versus Timberwolves. It is 3-1, and a lot happened because SGA has been one of the best. He's the MVP of the year, and they did well. He plays for Oklahoma City Thunder. As in, it's OKC 3. Why Timberwolves won. Now, yesterday we had Indiana Pacers play against New York Knicks. Yes, that was their fourth game, right? Fourth series,
fourth
right?
in the series.
Yes, fourth in the series. And one of their players for the Pacers, he attained a history in the history of NBA. Is Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton became the first player in NBA playoffs history to record 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists and 0 turnovers. And it's 3-1. They are on just one win away from advancing to the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton is the first player in NBA playoff history to record 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists and 0 turnovers. That is massive.
Yeah, massive for him.
Massive.
I mean, I think it's clear that the Pacers are going to win the Eastern Conference final,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then they go and wait for I take it back.
I know.
And wait for the OKC
yes.
in the finals.
Yeah, from the West.
Because I feel that for the West, OKC they are going to win that because again it's 3-1 in that series also. I think that for these two series, both the East and the West, it's going to end in Game 5. And then we'll now wait to see the best two from the East. Talking about the Pacers going against the OKC. In sport, anything can happen.
But
the way it is, these two teams, talking about Pacers and OKC, they are like 80% already in the finals
room,
and to win the conferences. Talking about the East and the West.
Yeah. So that's that about that. We will it's the EPL, right? Not even the EPL. There's a big game coming up today. Yes, it's going to be played in Poland. It is the UEFA Conference League finals. It is Chelsea versus Real Betis. But first off, I don't know. You guys could call. We need you. We need to hear from you. 070-1125-3825. 070-1125-3825. Follow us on our social media handles, Opera TV on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You could also tune into Strong Cable TV, Opera TV, yes, Opera TV on Strong. You could see us there live, and we are also streaming live. Operaatune FM 106.3. Call us on 070-1125-3825. Tell us your opinions about yesterday's games, the NBA as well. Look, like for everything we've been talking about so far, which of the game has been it for you? Were you at the stadium yesterday? What time did you leave? Like, we want to hear from you, our dear listeners. 070-1125-3825. There's a big game coming up today in Poland. Both teams, it is Chelsea versus Real Betis. Real Betis coach is none other than Manuel Pellegrini. He has managed several clubs. I know he managed Malaga. He also managed Man City. He won a trophy back to back. He won 2 trophies, EPL trophies before he left. He was the last manager before the Pep era started, and he's a good manager. Real Betis, he has been there for a very long time, and they play good football. We've got the likes of Isco, the likes of Anthony. You can see a Manchester United reject. Now he has gone to a place where he's celebrated and he has been doing well. Like when Anthony was playing for Manchester United, he lost confidence. He plays games. Sometimes he doesn't even start. When he comes in, he can't even take a 1v1. Like when he gets the ball, he's passing it to the back or he's passing it sideways. But when you watch him play in Real Betis, he's reborn. When somebody says someone goes for baptism, he became reborn in the city of Betis, and now he's one of their standout players, one of their best signings since January. And it's going to be a huge one for Chelsea. Chelsea, I understand, yes, they qualified for Champions League. They won against Nottingham Forest. And they're in high spirits. Chelsea have one of the youngest team in the league. They are in high spirits. But they've not played a UEFA. I know this is the first time both sides are playing a final of this magnitude, and with a Maresca as Chelsea manager. What do you think? What's your take on this final? The final will be played today. Today is the 28th day in the month of May 2025. To be played in the city of is it Warsaw? Yes, Warsaw in Poland. What do you think, Olumide? What do you think will happen tonight?
Yeah, it's a big game in that city, in that country, Poland. Warsaw is the third biggest stadium in that in Poland. Is a 40,000 capacity stadium. So and you know this is a conference final. Yeah, you can say it's the third tier of European football because we know the UEFA Champions League final coming very soon. That's the next one. It's the biggest tier of European football, followed by UEFA Europa League. We already know Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur defeated United by a goal to nil to win that, and this is the third tier of European football now, where you have Chelsea and Real Betis in this final tonight. What are my expectations? I think that Pellegrini is an experienced campaigner. He's played Champions League football when he coached Manchester City and of course Malaga at the time in the Spanish La Liga. Taking them very far in the Champions League games that he played with Malaga. With City, he also went far, competing against the likes of Bayern, Real Madrid. He did well, and he has coached some of the best players in world football.
And he's from
also.
Chile.
He's a Chilean. And so that's a man that has won titles, and he understands what it means to win. Now, the difference will be the players. Can these players, interpret his idea of winning? Because it's one thing to have a manager that knows how to win because he has won trophies. It's another thing for you to have players who can interpret and bring that into existence.
Exactly.
Because you look at the Real Betis roster, Isco, yes, we know how good Isco is. Isco has won trophies when he played for Real Madrid. And he's one of their biggest players.
He also played for Malaga at that point. So,
and you also look at Anthony. Anthony, yes, played at United, so you can understand the mentality of that player. Why he's also one of their best players. Talking about Real Betis, I feel that they have more experience. Talking about Betis players and the manager, you look at Chelsea. Chelsea are favorites to win, and my reason for City in European football, we know that they have won at every level. Talking about European trophies, you can go around when even the name wasn't what it is now. They have won. Now that the names have changed, they have also won Champions League, Europa League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. So Chelsea with that profile look like a bigger team going into this one. I think the only player that I can say has won at the highest level because he's a World Cup winner. Rhys James has won the Champions League, and so maybe that's another player that has won. Chalobah also has won the Champions League. Maresca, the coach of Chelsea now, has won the championship. That's the best of Maresca that we can talk about. Yes,
championship, Sky Bet champion. So don't think it's Champions League goal. Championship.
That's the second tier of English football in England. So he has won that, and I think that's the biggest thing he has won. Yes, he has worked with some quality managers like Pep Guardiola. So maybe he has a fusion of what it entails to win. But it's different when you're having all these theories. Practical is what we'll see tonight. So if you ask me, I think the best team will win. I cannot stick out my neck and say Chelsea will win or Betis will win.
True.
But one thing I know about tonight's game is that the players are the ones that would make it happen. It's not the manager. Because like I said of Pellegrini, you can't question his profile. But the players have here and there kind of question mark on them because they are not at the same level. They have not won together as a collective.
And
that is the issue I have with Chelsea too. Maresca has won. as a manager. Yes, you can say it's the second tier of English football that he won, but he has won. You can't take that away from him. Now, you look at the players also, the Chelsea team, as a collective, they have just, the best they have done is play 2 finals. They haven't won together as a collective. So we'll wait to see. But one thing is sure, we're going to see very exciting football tonight. Chelsea, very expressive side, a lot of athleticism, running. Some of these players, business end of the season, has also been back. Lavia, Rhys James, Enzo Fernandez. You know, we have seen a different what's it, Madrid K. You can talk about Neto. I mean, I don't know if Jackson will play. There's Caicedo in the mix. So I mean, a lot of exciting players that are coming through the rank, and Roberts is, we have to respect them. They play really, really good football.
With experience.
When you watch them control games, the control that they bring to games in terms of transition from defense
to
midfield and then offensively when they are in the opposition's half, they can be very, very tricky. Anthony inside forward, Isco can play anywhere around the wing to the that number 10 role. I mean, this Isco is a craftsman. We know what he can do. So, Ebe, like I said, really 2 teams that are exciting in terms of they are expressive sides. They are not. You are not going to be seeing any low block and trying to hit on a counter kind of football. You are going to see football at its best tonight.
So the game will be played by 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I would want to hear from you, our dear listeners. Who do you think? What's your opinion? Olumide said he just wants to enjoy the game of football. It's anything can happen in this game. He's sitting on. I feel he's sitting on it because I don't know.
You can't. I don't know. The way Betis got to the final, the way they you see what they did to Fiorentina. That they played back. Fiorentina, they've been very unlucky. The first 2 editions, they lost the final to Roma. Pep Guardiola's Roma. I say Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho's Roma, and then the second one they lost to David Moyes' West Ham. This time they got to the semi-final, but Betis, Isco, Anthony, and Pellegrini were just too much for them to handle, and that's why they didn't get to the final. And for me, if you look at Betis, nobody was talking about Betis.
No, I actually talked about Betis. I said they were the 3 top sides.
Now look at Betis. Okay. But we saw what Betis did to Fiorentina, made them look very ordinary. You know, took them to the cleaners, make them look like they were not there, and then
who wrote the Corinthians, all those all those names, those are the kind of there's one I saw that is that Janglova, I don't know, like those names. Chelsea they've played very, very easy sides. Do you get? Now this is the test. 07.
The French Open is also on Roland Garros. That's the Geneva Open has also changed because of all of that. This round. A second round, they look out for Zverev, Medvedev, Alcaraz, Sinner, Coco Golf, Sabalenka, this
Iga Swiatek. I don't know. Hopefully, because this is actually Iga Swiatek stuff. So maybe because she has not won anything since the season, since the year started, she has been here and there. Now, Coco Golf has displaced her from number 2. She's now number 3. She has dropped to number 3. This is somebody that used to be number 1 as last year.
Her best right.
Exactly. Now she's on 3. Now she needs to get it right. Else, others are looking. The likes of Jasmine Paolini, like a lot of them, Mira Andreeva, like they are all looking forward to like drop anyone that if you snooze. So let's see what happens in this in this ongoing French Open.
So I think I'm just looking out for some of the big games I hide. That should be an interesting game you can look out for. Also, this one is going to be very interesting.
They're trying to cut out the big shots.
I think these
as much as possible.
So for the women, talking about WTA, upset. Like what we say in sports, upset gets to happen. Let me look. I'm looking for the guys, but I'll get to that fixtures in a bit. But for the women, like I said, Emma Raducanu against Iga Swiatek, I think that is a big. That's the biggest. It doesn't come bigger than that. These are 2 women that have won a Grand Slam, and so like I said, Emma in recent time she has actually gradually crawled back into that Emma that we used to know. Swatek is kind of like struggling with her form. For the men, let me see. Musetti, I think Musetti will easily beat Garland. Serundolo, okay, I think that Casper Ruud and Bosch is a game that we can look out for. Who other? Okay, Alcaraz is also playing later today. I think he would easily displace Maros Van. Tsitsipas, these days you don't know the Tsitsipas you get. But Tommy against Fokasonic, I think that is an interesting game also. Which other one? Yeah, I think that's just about it. So Swatek is in action, Zabalenka is in action, Zeng is in action, Jasmine Paolini is in action, Tsitsipas is in action, Alcaraz is in action, so you can look out for these players. Also Musetti is in action. So that's it for second round of the second Grand Slam of the year, talking about the Roland Garros, or what you know as French Open.
Yeah. Okay, now for the games that will be played today, because we are gradually wrapping it up in the National Sports Festival. Yeah. Do you have the rundown?
Yeah, we have tomorrow. Let me first start with tomorrow. Tomorrow is the closing ceremony. So you expect that the stadium is going to be packed. Talking about the closing ceremony, that's the 29th of May 2025. Team departure will be on the 30th of May. We know that this tournament, talking about the National Sports Festival, started with team arrival on the 16th and 17th of May this year, and then the opening ceremony was on the 18th. Some of the games that have been played and venues, Ijebu-Ode Stadium hosted hockey. We know that cycling also happened. Remo Star Stadium, that's Ikene. There were a couple of games there: basketball, Ayu, chess, football, wheelchair basketball, Scrabble. The Civic Center, Obafemi Awolowo Square, Ikene, also there was karate, there was kung fu, wrestling, and of course today, wrestling started on the 26th and should end tomorrow 29th. So there is wrestling, Civic Center, Obafemi Awolowo Square, Ikene. For those who are in that axis, or if you plan going there, there's going to be wrestling. The NYSC orientation camp, Shagamu, there was Dande, power lifting, and of course weight lifting. We go to Abeokuta Golf Club, where of course you know what that is. It was golf. Baptist High School, Abeokuta, was boxing and kickboxing. Flag football was also played there. And today, talking about the Baptist High School, Abeokuta, there's still boxing and of course kickboxing. So you can go to that venue today to see
Baptist High School.
Babcock University, Shagamu, there was that. Table tennis hall hosted that, and of course football there, judo, taekwondo also happened right there. MK Obera Sports Complex, Abeokuta, there was Abula. Athletics, beach volleyball, cricket, deaf athletics, handball for female, para athletics, and of course swimming and tennis.
So which one will be played today?
Today at the MK Abiola Stadium, there is cricket. There is deaf athletics. There is national. There is handball. And of course, para today. So
high school as well. We have games that we played. Any parting words, because I guess our time. High school as well. We have games that we played. Any parting words, because I guess our time.
Because it's very important. Health benefits.
Very fit.
See, I tell you a quick story. Important health benefits.
Very fit. See,
I tell you a quick story. So years from my teenage years all the way to now that I'm no longer even the first
lady.
Yes, maturity why that can happen to a man like that? Because he's
massively.
That's why
like
he's able
actively.
to do
this is not. He's not delegating. He's
because he's
massively.
That's why
like
he's able
actively.
to do
this is not. He's not delegating. He's,
no. He's part of it.
Part of those things.
He's part of it.
He's part of actively involved.
Yeah. So a bear for me. I can be James Olumide. Operaatune FM 106.3. All I say to you as I leave is, in everything you do in life, stay sporty.
Yeah, stay sporty, stay fit. My name remains Ebere Oji, and this is Operaatune FM 106.3 Abeokuta. You could follow us on our social media platforms, Opera TV on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And this is me, and in fact, this is us saying all the best. Bye.